Joe, you are on the air with your congressman.
Tom, thank you so much. I wear my mask religiously. I'm going to continue to do that, even though I do have kids and they're growing up. So we have to kind of go through this slowly. But, Congressman, I love everything that you do, and I really appreciate your time. I wanted to speak today because it's American Jewish Heritage Month, along with a lot of other things. But I never thought it was a good idea to allow the relocation of the Jewish capital to Jerusalem. I think to kind of instigate the whole thing. I mean, what happened to the two-state solution? I don't understand. But I think maybe withholding some foreign aid from the Israeli government for some time to get them to realize that, you know, it's very much like the situation on our southern border. These indigenous people, they just keep bugging us, and we keep doing things that don't really make a lot of sense. They don't get a right to vote in Israel if you're a Palestinian, just like we here in America don't allow people to vote. Why do we continue to support these? And I just wondered what your position was, because I know you're a man of peace and seem to have great insight. I wondered if you would give me some thought on that and mention prosecution of Trump. He's in New Jersey, so you don't have to worry about extradition. I'll take your answer off the air. Thank you, sir.
Well, first of all, Joe, thank you for raising it. I mean, it's just awful what we hear in terms of the deaths of children. The deaths of children, obviously Palestinian children, but also Israeli children. And now you see the outbreak of potential civil war in Israel. And that's not my terms. That's Israeli officials saying that this is the first time they're seeing the Arab population within Israel take to the streets. So if there is not a two-state solution, I think I was opposed to the move in Jerusalem. I still don't think that the capital should be Jerusalem. I think we ought to be, in the new administration, recognizing that it's back to Tel Aviv and move our embassy back. It's unnecessarily provocative, as we've seen. Those things need to be part of a negotiation in terms of who controls what territory, and there ought not to be any displacement of Palestinians from their homes, and there ought not to be an excessive response in terms of going into to Muslim holy sites. That was one of the triggers for this, but Netanyahu's own politics. Now, obviously, there's no justification for Hamas putting all of the rockets into Israel either, and saying that is not giving Israel a pass. It's just saying that we shouldn't be for violence in any case, and that ought to be condemned as well. But the root of this is that we have to recognize the occupation. We have to recognize the need for human rights and the need to work towards a two-state solution, which over the last 4 years has been made less and less possible.
Congressman, 20 seconds. Do you think that the Biden administration is moving forward on this in the right way?
Here, I think there is a lack of sufficient empathy. I mean, when I saw Ned, I forget his last name, the spokesperson, and he was unwilling to even acknowledge the deaths of Palestinian children. You can believe, and President Biden has always believed in Israel as an ally, but that doesn't mean that you can't recognize the humanity of Palestinians and speak out clearly that, yes, it's wrong for rockets on Israel, but it's also wrong for Palestinian children to be being killed. I don't think that that's a controversial statement.